backstage. Like, what? You kicked me to the curb. Like, hey,
That's what you get for going on vacation and leaving us.
That part.
What's up, Z? Welcome back. I see.
I missed y'all. Ole, ole. I missed you guys. But you held down the fort while I was gone. In Spain, enjoying myself. But anyway, what's up, squad?
What's
Hello.
up?
Hello.
I'm more hyped up. Everybody like, what's up? What's up?
All
what y'all doing while I've been gone?
we ain't all been on vacation, so.
That
you take a vacation. You were in Hawaii not too long
We
ago.
were
So
working.
anyway,
Not too long ago, girl. That was over a year ago. Be quiet.
Look, we were dealing with this reign of biblical proportion.
Yeah, pretty much.
I
much.
know.
Look, in a minute, I'm
You
going to
done
build
missed
an
the whole
ark.
Noah's Ark.
I'm going to build an ark and suggest that folks get in it.
Well,
But you were partying in Spain. I don't want to hear how you partied. Listen, I saw the picture.
You see the picture?
No.
Oh yeah, you just pictures.
Yes.
But
God
anyway,
bless you.
God bless me. Okay. What's up, everybody?
Those pictures are inappropriate for this show.
What's up, everybody? Ships, the relationship show that chronicles the difficult and hidden world of true to life relationships. I'm here. I'm your host, Zandra Wilson, and I'm here with the squad. So we're gonna start off with everybody's week, starting with Miss Janine. What's going on, Miss Janine? How you doing?
Rain, pretty much.
Rain.
Just
Tony got
lots of rain. So,
okay. Dealing with the rain. Okay, you got your galoshes out, Dr. Collins.
Unlike some of us on this show, I was kind of stuck in America. So I managed the best way I could. Couldn't leave the country. I'm here. Praise God.
Yeah.
Pastor R.A.
Same here. Us poor folk had to be way back here in the United States, just suffering, but praise God, we made it through. Look at God, but God.
Oh, phony. Anyway, guys, you got a hot show today.
We do.
And I almost feel like wow. So we got some questions that we're going to be able to, I guess we should have this stuff in the back of our minds before we say I do. Some of the stuff we need to ask. But I want to
pull it to the front of your mind and ask them.
I want to know when we start asking, since y'all say I'll be asking on the first date, and I'm not going to ask on the first date. Hey, y'all. Hey.
Howdy doody.
Howdy. All right,
you would ask these on the first date. You would ask these on the first date. I'm not going to ask these on the first date. I'm not. I really am not. I'm going to be so good. I've learned and I have grown with being on this show.
Good.
And I don't ask any questions anymore. I keep my mouth shut and I just listen.
Why we don't believe that?
I had a technical glitch. My bad.
I feel like this is the Brady Bunch. We just keep moving around and
I know being mean. All right, let's bring up some of these questions. So today we're going to talk about questions that you should ask before you say I do. And so I'm curious, guys, before we start, make sure you subscribe to our channel, go to Butterflies Entertainment on YouTube, and of course, share. And of course, we want your message in a bottle. We would love to bring you on live. And if you want to be a part of the show, or if you're going to be set up on a date, we're still doing setting up the love matches. Go ahead and fill out that query form that is in the information section or information section on our YouTube channel. Or you can email me at zandraswilson@yahoo.com and I'll send you the link. You can fill it out. Or if you're nervous and you don't want to, you kind of do the incognito thing. I could talk with the crew about just blacking your face out. If you want to come on and change your voice, but you want us to help you, we're going to do all we can to try to get you help. So anyway, I want to make sure I plug that. But we're going to go into what do we say? Because some of us get married, guys, right? And we don't know a lot of stuff about our partner. A lot of questions we just didn't ask. So is it fair to say, guys, though, that some stuff you're just not going to know until after you're married? Like certain questions
Listen, there's some stuff you don't find out until 10 years later.
Right.
Bring Cole back up. Why I gotta be 10 years?
Fine.
Give me an example.
It just takes,
listen, right after you say I do, that's when you find out.
Yep. It just takes time. And because we're always a work in progress and we're growing and changing,
right.
You know, you meet someone and say you get married in your 20s, who you are at 20 should not be who you are at 40. Right? And so as you continue to grow into who you're going to be and all that you're called to do, there could be some rough patches because you're finding out different things about yourself that you didn't even know.
True. And just to add, Ms. Janine, that means spiritually, physically, sometimes financially, psychologically, all of these things come into play as you grow.
Yes.
As you grow.
Well, so, Dr. Collins, you had mentioned about I don't know if you said there was no such thing as growing apart or something. Do you guys believe in it? Okay, well then is it possible so people can grow apart?
Yeah, because he hooked up with somebody that was never growing in the same direction. They were just closer together at that point.
That's right.
What you said. That's what you
said.
We
was never on the same path.
Yeah, you're never on the same page.
We was just closer together because we were so in our infant stages of that path.
Right.
That's good.
Yeah. That's just how it works. You're absolutely right. So we're going to get to these questions.
Let's come on to the questions. Come on, number one. I want to know what I need to ask. Okay, so did your family throw... Who put this up there? Who put this up there?
You find the best stuff online, right?
Did your family throw plates, calmly discuss issues, or silently shut down when disagreements arose? Well, I can say my family, well...
Sometimes all three. It depends who.
Come on.
Yeah. It depends on what
plates.
Yeah, I'll go first in how...
You didn't calmly discuss nothing.
Let me tell you.
Yeah, I pick A and C. I don't want to. I don't relate to B.
Me either.
Yeah.
I learned to relate to B, and there are times that C will come up.
So where do we all four fall into that category?
Particularly you throw plates.
I threw plates. Janine, you seem like you were you would calmly discuss issues.
Are you talking about in my marriage or when I was growing up?
That part.
Okay. When I was growing up, I would say it was the silently shut down, and let's see how long we can go without speaking.
Somebody said,
who's gonna break first?
Who's gonna break first? Yeah.
And the way they break is not with an apology. It's when it's like you hungry?
Right. Right. we definitely never threw plates. There was never any foul language or expletives thrown around or said to each other. And there was really, eventually it would be some calm discussion.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah. You grew up with the family I strive to.
Yeah.
No, I think it's important though.
Chose violence. My family woke up every morning and chose violence. But go ahead.
I think it's important for our listeners to understand why this question is important.
Yes.
Oftentimes, the way a person's grew up or whatever their family dynamic is, it has influenced how they have grown accustomed to dealing with situations. That doesn't mean this is the way they have to deal with situations or that they do, but you know that had an influence on them, and maybe they hadn't evolved beyond that to deal with it in a better way, or maybe they have, but it helps to know the stock they come from.
Right. Yep. Because if you were on that whole calmly discuss issues tip, and so you sit at the table and you realize that you have to start ducking plates because that's where they come from.
Right. Right. And the fact of the matter is, we'll go Bible. This is called a generational curse. And when you get into relationships that harbor those type of things, because that is an issue. Make no doubt about it, ladies and gentlemen. Somebody throwing anything at you, a car, a house, whatever they're throwing at you, you want to make sure, if anything, that you second, pretty much, I'll say this, you definitely second guess if you want to be in that relationship or not. And by the way, somebody has a message for you.
Hey, that's funny.
First of all, I picked the plates, so I'm not throwing plates that I like.
Come on now, I'm about to hear mine.
Hey, one more thing before we move to the next one. Even if a person has evolved beyond some of the unhealthy ways of dealing with conflict, oftentimes that could possibly still be their default mode.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Which means the time things on that new evolution of a way isn't working, they can easily go back to their default.
And they're gonna grab a plate. They're gonna grab a plate.
That's true. That's good number 2, guys. That's true.
Boom.
Oh, that's good. Will our experiences with our exes help or hinder us?
Yes, they're called baby mamas or baby daddies. Go ahead.
Or ex-wives or ex-husbands. Okay, let's start with you, Dr. Collins.
I don't think this is a question somewhat that's so effective in asking the person. It's something for you to personally examine in yourself. Exactly. Because people are going to automatically say, oh, no, it's going to help me. But no, I'm looking at how you acting. You don't believe that I really worked overtime because of your exes. Like, this ain't working too well. Yeah. So this is something more of a self-evaluation. And that's different for different people. Some people grow and evolve. Some people tend to allow that to become their insecurity. And they live in that state of urgency, already always worried about that history replaying itself. So you're guilty before you even get a shot.
Sure.
That's true. That's good stuff. That's
good stuff. It's helpful. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, just particularly when you got, of course, the whole baby mama and baby daddy thing going on in here too, that in dealing with your ex, there's going to have to be those boundaries that are set up prior to. I mean, it has to be a major boundary setter, because if not, that can influence how you proceed in your marriage. And it can be very difficult handling that while you're married. So you want to get that out front. Absolutely.
I think it's also important to remember that your ex is your ex. Yeah. No matter how much this person may look like, sound like, do some of the same things, it's not fair to that person. So, well, the last one cheated, so all men cheat. The last one was crazy, so all women are crazy. Sure. Whether that's true or not. Let that person be an individual. Start them off with a clean slate.
Sure.
Don't compare them to anyone. They don't have to measure up to anyone. Clean slate.
That's true. Good stuff. Okay. All right, number 3. How important is religion? How will we celebrate religious holidays, if at all? This is a good one. Okay, start with you, Janine.
Well, this question makes me think of the folks I know who are Christian and they married someone who's Jewish. For me, couldn't do it. Yes, we need to believe in the same thing, same way. Meaning, for me, Jesus is Lord. We will celebrate Christmas as such. We will celebrate Easter, died and rose again, say my sins. I have salvation through the ultimate sacrifice. 4th of July, Valentine's Day, Memorial Day, Halloween, don't care. But for me, we need to be on the same page. So I can't even imagine what it's like in a household when you have two very different extremes in terms of religion, and then you bring kids into it. It's like, well, you just gonna let them fend for themselves, let them pick. Buffet, right? It's a religious buffet, and then when they're older, they get to pick what they want to do.
I'm thinking of Chelsea Clinton, because when she got married, her husband was Jewish or is Jewish, and it was kind of like a dual ceremony, a Christian ceremony or Catholic and Jewish. So I don't know how that's working out, but okay. All right, Pastor Arce.
Unevenly yoked is a thing.
First thing to come to mind?
It's a thing.
Arce?
Yes. One of the key things, it's going to sound strange, but we know couples that are Christian and Catholic, which totally, really two different religions. Although we believe in the same, quote unquote, a figurative Jesus, what a Christian Catholics may believe in with Christians. So one is still on the cross, one is off the cross. Mm-hmm. Those things come into play where you're discussing, okay, do we go to mass or do we go to church? Particularly if you are Pentecostal, how does that fit in? Right. Some people can make it work. I've seen Muslims and Christians who have to compromise. Some may not be a Christian. They celebrate Kwanzaa, and then, So all these things come into play. It really is a point. Yeah. And of course, we are going to say, don't be unequally yoked. Yes. But the reality is that people still get married with different religions. And the fact of the matter is that you have to really dig in, find out what's the core importance to you and your family. The moral value. Is it structured around morals? Go from there. You don't want to marry a Satanist and you're a Christian, because the moral factors are totally two different things. But you have to be serious. And so, so you want to discuss that in detail. What does that look like? Are we spending? Are we going to be sacrificing babies and kids and pets? Well, what are we doing on that day? Or are we going to worship Jesus? What are we doing?
Right. And here's another one. Are you expecting me to dress modestly and my head has to be covered?
Yeah.
Right. Everything's covered except my eyes when we go out.
Right.
I've seen
it's important to know what is expected of you.
That's true.
Yes,
okay, Dr. Collins.
To answer this question, how important is religion? It is at the primary climax of anything leading to marriage.
Sure.
Because be not unequally yoked has to do with what we're getting married for.
Sure.
See, people have lost the whole purpose of marriage in this day and age. They really think that everybody wants to get married so they can be happy.
Wait a minute, laugh break. Laugh break.
It was never God's purpose for marriage.
And Jose, you said it real sarcastic. I'm offended.
It was never to make you happy. It was to fulfill his purpose. How do we fulfill the purpose of a God that we don't even agree on?
Right.
So right now, I'm starting off divided.
Right.
Now, let me tell you how, because to Rick's point, we see it happening a lot more today. Let me tell you how that happens. Because nobody's really devoted to what they say they believe.
Say that.
That's how they're able to make it work. Neither one of us really serving, or maybe one of us is, and the other one is only by title, so we going along with whatever the other one is doing.
Come on.
This is why we see it actually happening and lasting for many years, because nobody's fully all the way committed to what, or one, at least one of them's not.
Right.
fully, because the question of how important it is. Right. It's supposed to be the thing that brings us together to fulfill the purpose of the one we believe brought us together.
Yes.
Right. Why brought us together.
Right.
So that's where I'm at.
No, and let me.
It's good.
If I may jump on this again, Jose, with that, it's interesting because there's an analogy that I would use. My mother did this, and you're talking about being all the way in. My brother, he would sleep at the top bunk, and my other brother, twins. The other would sleep at the bottom bunk. The top bunk, Felix Jr., he would fall out the bed every night. Roll out the bed, you hear this. Ah! And I'm on the other side of the bedroom watching, he's hanging off the phone. So my mother would come in, scoop him up, put him in.
She keep putting my baby
every night. You would hear this. I'm like, bro. So my mother, she
oh God.
She says, hey, you keep falling out because you're not all the way in. So she finally,
that's good. That is so good.
She put pillows. That was good. She literally tucked him in the covers so he couldn't move. And guess what? Guess what never happened? He never fell out of the bed.
That's good.
Yeah, because that's my point with in Christ, it's important to be all the way in. Get all the way in, man, and then you want to worry about not being unequally yoked.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Very good.
We can throw the mic down, and we're done with the show. And we're done with the show. That's it. You keep falling out because you're not all the way in.
All the way in.
That'll preach. That's good.
Yeah,
that's all we need.
Good stuff.
Wait, right, but I need one more of the.
That's weird.
The sound effects.
Oh man. Every night, man.
I want to meet you. You want to talk about that? Okay. How far should we take flirting with other? Oh wow, it's watching pornography. Okay. Oh, all right. Start with you, Pastor Arce.
How does that work? I'm kind of. Okay, how far should we take flirting with other people?
Is it like right before you start
to get married?
It's like two separate questions. It's two separate. All right, look, we're gonna tackle it. Yes, flirting can be too far. Yes, it could be taken too far because particularly if you're committed to someone. This is, by the way, this is the courting. We talked about this. This is the courting stage.
Right.
Courting stage on up. Moving into marriage. The courting stage, quote unquote, fiance stage, flirting is a big no-no. Now, if you know this while you're dating, there's a problem. Now, as Christians, we shouldn't be watching porn. If you need porn to get you going at any point in your marriage, any point, you have a problem, sir. Ma'am, you have a problem. A serious problem. Look, right now, just put your head to the screen. We're gonna pray for you right now because it's a serious problem.
People say they use it to spice things
up.
That's
a problem. You are watching. You're breaking a covenant because you're watching other folk get down.
What if they watching themselves?
A little twist.
Listen, I'm on the wrong show, Jose. I'm on the wrong show.
Pastor Jose is like,
I never felt like Georgia had a point until now.
Come on, Sean. Yes. Flirting is an invitation. So how about this?
Let me think about that.
Think about that. Going back to the flirting. Going back to the flirting.
We gotta look at this. What if you're watching yourself?
A lot of people take themselves and replay it back and watch
it. Motivated. Like, okay, that movie.
I should have moved my leg.
Nothing wrong with it.
I was almost, and just if I had just pivot.
No, baby, you look at you ain't looking. Look, baby, look. Pay attention.
Step ball change.
You need to put your hip.
Step ball change.
That was not the position. Your leg was on the headboard. What's wrong with you? You can't see.
Like, look at my face.
Glasses on and look.
I like that. Look at my face. I am not happy. I like that.
Oh God.
You need to do some more stretches. You need to do some more stretches.
No, we do that like with motivating, like with our pictures. We put it on bikini shots, risque, and as a motivation. This is the body that I want to get. Women do that. I know I do it. This is the body I want to have, so I keep it on my.
Who did I walk into?
But that's not the same.
If you are but pornography with your partner, if you're, because it's porn. If you're having sex, it's pornography, and if you're married, hey, I say go for it.
Let's try.
That's a good point.
Anyway,
well, listen, going back to flirting. If you are with someone and you notice that they are a natural flirt, some people it's just their personality, right?
Yep.
They are always schmoozing people and they'll do the little wink and all that. That is just a part of their makeup, and it is innocent. They don't try to get a phone number on the side or do any of that kind of thing. So I think you need to pay attention to who they are and how they are, right?
Wait,
and if you feel that it's flirting and they're crossing a line, then you need to let it be known that bothers you, right? Because there are some people, I call them the mayor. When you go to church, everybody knows them. They know everybody. You can never get in under 30 minutes or out under 40 minutes because everybody has to say hi. They have to say hi to everybody, blah, blah, blah. You need to know who you're dealing with. And that also comes down to trust. Can I trust that this flirting is innocent?
So to that point, Janine, I think the question is really, what do we define as flirting? Because I know exactly what you're talking about. The person never meets a stranger. They're very talkative. They're a social bug. But the person that they're in a relationship with is the extreme opposite.
Right.
They ain't really talking to strangers. They're not conversationalists. They're more reserved, shy, off to themselves.
Right.
So they can see what you're doing. And maybe you are flirting, maybe you're not. I'm not making a case of which one it is. But that's why it's important to define within the parameters of that relationship what flirting is. Because the person that is flirting may not honestly see what they're doing as flirting.
Right.
And the person that that they're with. And let me take a commercial break. Whatever website asks these questions, y'all crazy. Because the questions are what questions you should ask your spouse. If you asking your spouse, how far can I flirt? Right. If you asking me that, this ain't gonna work. If you asking me, how far can you go with flirting? Like, you can't go nowhere. If you know you flirting, now I just made a case for the person that may be flirty. Like, I know what you're talking about. But usually those people don't acknowledge that as flirting. Now, there are some people that are flirting on purpose. And there are some people that have okay, well, I'll use Zandra. We all know Zandra ain't really flirting at nothing. Lord help her. But I can see how someone who don't know Zandra could think she's flirting.
Wait a minute. I want to stop at that. I want to go back.
I agree.
Hold up.
Let me finish the point before you defend yourself. I'm gonna let you defend yourself, but we know Zandra's a touchy-feely person, right? I mean, we know this is her personality. And Zandra's talking to you, oh, you're so crazy. Ain't no, there is. It is completely innocent.
Wait, Hosea, how did she do it?
You're so crazy. But we know it's completely innocent, right? But someone that her potential boyfriend of the future at some point in time, by the grace of God, in Jesus' name, may not see it that way.
Before Jesus comes. Because you're not getting married in heaven. I'm telling you straight up.
Send them, Lord. Send them. Send them, Lord.
But then you see what I'm saying? He may see that as why you always flirting? So right. I think this relationship has to define
that's good
what flirting is. Yeah. And to Janine's point, and I'm done, when she says, well, I'm not comfortable with that. Now the other person have to say, am I willing to change my normal, natural, innocent get down?
Right.
To make you feel comfortable? Yeah, or is this going to be an ongoing fight because I'm walking on eggshells, wondering, did I touch it? Did I put a hand on him? Did I this or that? And this is where the problem comes in. You have the right to want whatever you want. Watch this.
Right.
You do not have the right to make somebody else want what you want. And this is where people have to make a hard.
Say it again.
You don't have the right to make somebody else want what you want just because you want it. So now you have to make a hard decision. If I know this person is this way, naturally, and I'm uncomfortable with that, maybe this isn't the best relationship for me. Or if you said, I like them and I don't want to talk like this, but I'm really not comfortable not talking like this and I feel like I'm bound. Because what people do, they say, okay, well, dog, I'm not flirting, but I'll try to do better. And they'll say, look, I'm not tripping. I'll try to be more patient because they want a relationship.
Sure.
But when you realize you can't change the way you feel, we're prolonging the inevitable.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
You are.
That's good.
We mentioned that earlier because you meet, quote unquote, for the couple of years that you're in the marriage. Sometimes you're married to the representative. That's the honeymoon stage. And then
you said married to the representative?
Oh, I'm serious.
Oh, yeah.
Honeymoon stage.
Yeah.
Honey, listen. 3 years.
Yeah.
No arguments. Plush. Luscious. Oh my goodness. It was wonderful. At our first argument, I had to leave the house, go to my boy's house. I said, I don't know what to do. He was married by this time, probably like 20 something.
Hey, Rick, I only got one correction. In the old days, that was 3 years. Today, 3 months.
3 months. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Month number 4.
Yeah. That's it.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
I
didn't touch the pornography because Rick already addressed it. I'm with him.
Well, I say this. You said something where, what if it's yourself?
Now, that gave me a different.
I don't have an answer for it, but I'll say this. The Bible lets us know that pretty much the bed is undefiled.
Right. And so all I'm going to say to that, when Rick said, what if it's yourself? I learned to love me.
Get a good camera.
I want to be with somebody who loved them too.
Yeah.
And if we want to watch ourselves love each other.
Now, let me be real.
Oh, Lord.
I don't like to see myself on camera with clothes. Number 5.
Hey, I might be like Rick, but sometimes the moves can be so fascinating. But you gotta go back and look, say, did I really do that?
You remember when? You remember when you were able to do it?
Oh my God!
Y'all, wow, man.
Y'all are nuts. Y'all, I know that's right, Pastor. Shaking yourself like, go, girl, go get it, girl. You're watching. Anyway.
And look, when you're
just start
old, you can pop in an old video, be like, remember when I used to whip it on you?
Come on now.
Be like, baby, what's this? Look, she's gonna be like, baby, who is that you with? Boy, that was you. That was our second anniversary.
Wait. Totally.
He don't even remember looking like that. This was our second anniversary.
Sidebar, but true. It happened. No, it happened. I don't know if you guys remember a story recently. Wife, pretty much, I think she killed her husband because she saw a photo thinking it was another woman and it was her. That's how. Go look it up. They got a number 5.
Okay.
Number 5.
Number 5.
Okay. Can you deal with this is good with my doing things without you? Because that's good. Some people really do have a problem. I know several couples where it's usually the husband. When the wife go away, when you coming back? Where you at? Where you going?
Mm-hmm.
I think it depends on what things.
It almost sounds like in general, like anything, everything.
That's in general. I agree.
That I think that comes along with time. Because
why would you want to do everything with them anyway? It seems like to me.
No, because some people do in the beginning. They do. They're always together.
Yeah.
And then as you grow, and I think, in my opinion, for instance, when I go speak somewhere, I always take Colette with me all the time. All the time. I think maybe once she couldn't make it, just once.
Yeah.
And I say that because people are used to seeing you, and she wants to be there for me.
Yeah.
Right.
The other side is pretty much the trust factor. Can they trust you around other, particularly from the last point, if you're a flirt and you're the mayor.
Yeah.
Or if you got some issues, sir, of laying hands on everybody because you got the deliverance ministry or the laying hands ministry, the healing ministry.
Or look, if you're the type of person that can't fend off advances, you see people trying to push up on you and rub up on you and all that kind of stuff, but you don't use your voice to establish boundaries and be like, hey, please don't. You just kind of like let stuff happen and you feel uncomfortable, but you don't say anything.
Right.
That's good, Janine.
No, and I'll give you a live example of this. Not so much, it's around this topic. Years ago, my wife was with me and there were women in the church. And Jose, I don't know if you ever experienced this or not, but for whatever reason, they would bypass her.
Oh, come on, bro.
Yeah.
If you ain't experienced that, you ain't a pastor.
There you go. Come to me directly. Pastor, can you pray for me? I need this or I need that. I'm looking at them. I'm like,
yeah, they just stepped over her to get to you.
Stepped over. Yeah. And so this is my wife. I said, oh, I'm sorry, yada, yada, yada. But they continue to do it. They know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They know what they're doing. That's when you come in and you have to really check that.
Yeah.
Because what that does, when you are by yourself, you don't have to worry about that.
Right.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. That's good.
Brother, this is one of the reasons, Pastor Rick, I always publicly endorse my wife.
Same here.
Speaking engagements.
What do you say? I'll give you what I said. What do you say? What do you
I got a whole lot. Where you want me to start? You want me to just start this last Sunday? This last Sunday, I had her to bring me, I was sweating, had her to bring me down.
What did she do? What did she do, Hosea? Tell us what she did.
And then on the way back to the seat, I said, hey, slow down, girl. I hate to see you go, but I love to see you walk away.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Say, now let me get up out of there before I've been changed the sermon and the benediction. May the Lord watch.
Yes.
Between me and thee.
Yes.
I got business to tend to. Like I do it all the time. But I do that to establish that understanding.
Yep.
That's right.
And I get it because I do the same exact thing when I go wherever I go. And you see, I've done it at your church.
Yes.
So I sit there, she's the last I introduce.
Yes.
I have a spiel where I say pretty much she's my ooh, my ah, the one that makes me call God's name in vain at times where I have to repent. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Hey, maybe I'm a little worse than you. I repented for that.
Yes, sir. I love it. I love it.
I got some prayers I still got to pray.
I established that.
Yeah.
And I make her stand.
That's
like wave at people. And I tell them when I say, listen, help me celebrate her. Y'all set me up for later on tonight. Come on, Sebby. If you're not
I love it, brother. Let me say another reason why it's important for us to do that. Let's just be very honest.
Yeah.
Because of the position that we hold and what God uses us to do, we know it. Listen, some women may not give a darn about me and Pastor Rick, but they'll still be attracted to the anointing. See it delivered and and so on and so forth. And you got women that's going to do that. But now it helps to already set our wives in a place to where, hey, I already stand. You already know. So this little stuff that the devil may try, it won't have as great of an effect as it would have if we hadn't covered these bases.
Say that because they're going to do it.
The devil gonna be the devil. He gonna do what he gonna do.
Yeah. Right. That's good. That is
so my only thing to can you deal with my doing things without you? My only thing to that is it depends on the why. Like if it's because it's a trust issue, then that's an issue. If it's because you really love to be with me that much and you can't stand to be a second without me, you get weak in the knees when I ain't around.
Yes.
I don't mind you feeling that type of way because you need Big Daddy by your side.
Yes. Yes. Big to the daddy by your side.
Okay. Yes.
Wait, I didn't get my spill yet.
Okay.
For men who do this, because we always look at the women doing this.
It's a good point.
The men who do this,
that's
a sign, listen, of one or two things. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. Yes, in insecurity.
Yep.
But he might be doing something. Just saying.
Yeah.
You know,
those control issues.
Yeah.
So if we're talking about a healthy relationship where those things are not an issue, then it is healthy for the relationship to do things apart.
Absolutely.
But I don't think this is a question per se that you ask the person I'm dating. Hey, can you deal with me? I think it's one of those things.
Sandra does.
To allow observance,
but I think there's a way you can phrase it, right? Okay. Maybe it's not, can you deal with my doing things without you? It's when we're married, are you still going to want to have boys' night? How do you feel about me having girls' night? Or, me and my girlfriends every year go on vacation. Is that an issue for you? So there's a way to broach the subject.
No. Right. You put it like that. I can't disagree because I had to do that too. Like I remember one time, man, early on, marriage, because I'm not the type that hangs out a lot. You know what I mean? I just it ain't who I am no more. But I do need time with male testosterone. It's like I need that sometimes. And I remember early on, I don't remember what it was, but I don't know if it was early in the no, it was when we was dating. And I was hanging out with the homie and blah, 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 blah. And she's like, again? And, wait a minute. Is this going to be a problem? Because we need to establish this.
Yeah.
Right.
Is this going to be a problem? Because occasionally I need this. And I need to know if that's going to be a problem because we may have a few problems.
Right.
And down the line, I'm the same way. I'm very fair because I understand you and the girls need to go out sometime. I respect that.
Sure. Yeah.
But this is what happens in a lot of. But we established that we never had that problem since. That's been 3 years ago. Here's my point. Sometimes this is where the problem comes. There's one person that don't do friends.
Right.
And the other person they married to or they're dating.
Yeah.
They're friends.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So they don't know why you need what they don't.
Right.
That becomes another problem.
That's so good.
Yep. That is so true. That is true.
Number 6.
Do we like each other? Come on now. Now that I admit. If you didn't like my mama, it was a deal breaker. You didn't like my mama.
How many men tell you they don't like your mama though? They just don't like you. They don't tell you.
Right.
Only reason why I like the mama because the mama was pretty. That's it. And I'm like, I can marry.
Well, if she's not a pretty, then what?
Then I ain't married.
I just reminded me. Oh my God. Oh, I'm about to tell this. This was so funny. Oh my God, this years ago. There was a couple. They broke up. And a dude came to see me, past him something, man. Well, I don't know, man, what happened, man? Man, we got into it, man. I'm like, what happened, man? We was driving, man. We was in the car. And we got into it real bad, man. And I was so mad because I'm talking, and she kept on about her mama this, her mama that. And I just got sick of it. Said, what happened? I said, man, F your mama. He said, I'm driving. Next thing I know it, I got tears from my eyes.
Yeah.
Talking about my mom. Oh, he said that to a plate thrower.
Come on now.
He said, I didn't mean it like that. I meant it in the sense of the what I'm trying to talk about, and you keep trying to go there, and I'm talking about that conversation.
No,
I ain't got, man.
And I wish she had.
He was driving.
Oh, what you said? That was
so
her
we
mama.
All gonna die. You gonna die with me?
No, talk about her mama.
Well, it took a while. We eventually got it worked out, but y'all just took me there when you said that. That was. I hadn't thought about that in years, man. That was.
Punch him right in his eye. Okay.
Well,
that's important.
Is
I don't
good.
think I could keep a straight face when he was telling me. I think I was laughing.
This question is great because as you're leaving and cleaving and trying to start your family, there are going to be new boundaries that have to be set up.
Yeah.
Right? And you're not going to get it right necessarily the first go around, especially like how do you deal with holidays, not just religion, but how do you deal with holidays? Because up until this point, for the last 38 years of my life, I spend Christmas with mama and them.
Yeah.
Right? Now that there's you, is mama and them going to have an attitude because they don't want to share me, even though they know I'm married? They don't want to share me. So I think that it's more than just, do we like each other's parents? Do we have an understanding of who the parents are, what their expectations are as a result of our relationship?
Yeah. And it could be an inconvenience, particularly if one set of parents is not established financially, where, when they come in, are they moving in with you? That's just right there. Right. So if you don't like them, now you're going to have to live with them.
Right.
That's true. That's true.
And so you're going to have a major problem.
I've had that in my family.
Out of that question right there. Do you like each other's parents? Well, I don't like your parents because they don't work. And I'm the breadwinner, and I'm going to be taking care of your parents on my 401k, my retirement.
Or I don't like the way,
before you get married?
I don't like the way your stepmother treats your father.
Yep.
I don't like the way
that's
stepfather treats your mother.
Yeah. They're throwing plates at each other at the last Thanksgiving.
The plate throwers.
Yeah, because I wanted something back in cheese, but it went over somebody's head. And it went against mac and cheese.
Do you like your parents?
Come on. That's a good one.
You want to be with somebody who don't like their parents? What they gonna think about you when you make them mad?
Come on now. Yeah. And what's interesting, guys, about this, I can just say from personal experiences that I had plate thrower family members, and they also can say some mean stuff. my thought would be like, just don't come around them. But then how do you never ever come around your in-laws, which is what happens most times, because the in-law, I mean, you're not going to stop her from saying A, B, C, F, and G. And then your spouse is not going to stop the person from saying A, B, C, F, and G. So then how do you handle that? Because that's how some parents, some moms hold on to those sons and vice versa, where you
handle it on mute.
Yeah.
But what if I don't want to come? If I don't want to come around, if let's say for instance,
you can limit how many visits, but you're gonna have to come.
What if they calling you out your name every time you're coming over there, stuff like that?
Come on, we ain't talking about that. Now that's a different story. Now, if anybody's what I'm saying, that's a different story. If anybody's if my parents are calling my wife out of their name, disrespecting her, and I ain't got nothing to say, she shouldn't be with me. See, that's a whole
come on. That
you
part.
open another can right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead, Rick. Finish. Come on.
Number 7.
How important is sex to you?
Very.
And we married? Wait a minute. Are these?
No. Important question. Some people can take it or leave it.
Listen, do you know how many couples I deal with that had way more sex before they got married? As long as it was sin, it was when it became holy they stopped doing it.
Yeah.
And it usually because it was a mutual agreement.
Yep.
It happens all the time.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, but why does it? Wait a minute, back up. Why does it stop when you're married? I don't. Is it a psychological thing?
I think so.
I ain't got to do it no more. I got you.
Yeah.
I don't feel like it now. I ain't in the mood now. As long as it was sin, you was in.
Yeah. And then you have careers, and you start a family, and there's kids, and you're taking them to practice, and
life happens.
All kinds of stuff.
But it don't stop sex from being important. But no, this is a question, because you need to know what your sexual boundaries are before you get married. Right. I need to know what you ain't doing. What ain't no sense of being on a honeymoon mad at each other.
Right. I mean, like, are we going to record ourselves? Right? Are we going to record ourselves?
Yeah. We got to add that question to the cake. You got a tripod?
I got the lighting kit. Got a lighting kit.
What kind of camera?
We running out of time.
Guys, oh my God, we have 3 minutes. We're gonna have to do a part 2 to this.
Okay, we can get one more. Should we try to do one more?
Okay, let's try one more. Oh my God. What's the most you would be willing to spend on a car or couch? Okay, that's good. That's good. Yeah. That's a really good question. Because men typically
this question is deeper than that. Because this is a question about how we do finances.
Yeah, but I mean, it opens the door for that.
Yeah, it can open the door to that conversation.
Like, if I say there is no limit for the perfect pair of shoes.
Yeah.
You and I just broke up.
See?
You and your shoes can marry each other.
Yeah, because women, what are $2,500 red bottoms, $1,000? I think it's ridiculous for you to have 5 pair of $2,000 pair of shoes.
It's not, because I know Walito down the
other women they don't mind. But men, you'll go out and buy a sports car. We may say it's ridiculous. Like, dude, you got one already. Why do you need another one?
Okay.
And all of that stuff is, it's really subjective. Right?
Yeah.
Because it's not just about red bottom shoes. You can find something in your price range that you think is reasonable. Oh, I go to Macy's, drop $100 on a pair of shoes. Somebody else will say, you can BOGO at Payless or whatever is out there now, right? So why are you spending that? It's all subjective. The issue is, are you willing to spend rent and mortgage and car note and grocery money?
Money on a pair of shoes. Yeah, now a lot of women
on those things.
Maybe this will help some pastors out here.
Help somebody.
There may be times that you feel that you should be doing more for church and you ain't got the money. And doing church is not in the budget. You got to really learn to rely on Jesus, yes, God, to get the money for you, so you're not homeless. I'm just trying to help you. So make sure that that's just within the discussion of your relationship, what's priority. Because priority to one person may be different for another, as you mentioned, Janine. But it's important that you note that you have to set priorities with the money you both bring to the table. Or maybe you got it like that, sir, and you want to pretty much want to take care of her. God bless you. But it does set a tone in a relationship. It sets a tone of how fast you get the house, how fast you get the car, how fast y'all can have children, because you got to support them babies. It's a lot that goes involved in it. Absolutely.
It's a good question.
All right, y'all, I got to go.
All right, guys, wait a minute. We're going to close this out. So, guys, again,
did you see that when the thing that came up when I was married, my ex-husband, my now ex-husband used to make her shop at Walmart, was it?
Yeah.
Did she say?
Beautiful.
That's the to be continued. I can't wait.
We need to talk. We need to continue.
Let's bring that back. Let's bring that back next week. But guys, like, subscribe, and share.
I got some questions.
And we want you guys to make sure you like our Butterflies YouTube channel. Send me your message in the bottles at ZandraSWilson@yahoo.com. If you want to be a guest on our show, email me at ZandraSWilson@yahoo.com or go and fill out our questionnaire. You can help out any way you see fit. We would love to have you. But again, help us help you. So go ahead, subscribe, hit that subscribe and like button. All right, guys. Until next, we're going to do a part 2 to next week.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.